Alright everyone, if I can please drop your pencils, focus on me, quell the discussions and the table talks. Let's focus back on it. Alright. Excuse me? Thank you. Alright, so let's recollect what we learned throughout this lesson, right? We talked about all our fears, what everyone is afraid of. The dark, spiders, the ocean. I hate slime. Slime scares me. I hate the idea of it. It ekes me out. Gross. Ew. No way. No, thank you. So yeah, rational and irrational fears that we all experience through our day-to-day life. We talked about what the horror genre is, what it's defined by, the various techniques and mediums that are utilized and can be utilized by the genre itself and help splay out the genre. What else? We watched the films, yes, we watched the clips from the film, we watched the trailer and the scene, and you all got into your tables, we discussed it, each talking about a specific technique utilized. So in the brief time, I just want to collect all of that together so that we can all talk about it as a group. So, what makes horror films horrifying? What makes these movies that we love and we kind of watch, some of us don't really watch it, understandable, let you think. What makes them scary? Yes, ma'am. Tone, yes, tone. What can you tell anything specific about the tone? Spot on, yes. Tone is very dark, it's very grungy, it's very ground, it's very eerie, right? It's almost a tone of unease, really sets the audience aback because it's different from what we usually experience. We experience fear, but this is like fear turned up a notch. What you'll find out across a lot of the mediums of horror that we'll discuss in class, horror is a very psychological subject matter, right? It really plays to the inner psyche of the human. Because in the end, each of us finds something scary. None of us are immune to fear, right? Some of you are more stoic or a lot more like calm. You're still going to find something that's scary. Everyone finds something scary. It's very human to experience fear. So what horror movies and horror medium, and the horror genre rather does, is get that fear and turn it up a notch. It turns it to the nth degree so that eventually it kind of turns back around and we find enjoyment in it. Yes, so tone. Anything else? Atmosphere, good. Music, yes, especially in the scene that we just watched. Music can, what was the music? How would you describe it? Yes, very kind of stretched out, very kind of low, not much in it, but it set like a level of unease. There was a lot of sound in it that kind of like mixed in and out of the music so you couldn't tell what was what. There's one really glaring one right in front of us. Yes, the monsters. All right. What would this technically be classified under, especially when it comes to film? Design. Yes, good. Design. Set design, creature design, monster design. These are all things that we visually think of when we think of horror. Something that looks scary and imposing and just makes us scared, right? But the scary designs themselves don't necessarily just mean horror, right? Can you guys think of anything that looks scary but isn't really part of the horror genre? No, we're struggling a bit? Alright, let's get back to it real quick. Let's hitch on this one a bit. So, when you guys think of horror design and horror monsters, what do you usually think of? Rattle some names. Yeah, my mind's open. Yes, we got Dracula, Frankenstein, the Alien, right, drooling, werewolves, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, right? What else? Anyone? No? Alright. How many of you seen Lord of the Rings? Few of you? Okay. Anything scary in Lord of the Rings? There's a lot of scary. Yes, the Black Hooded Road people. Right? The Nazgul. What is it? It's just a hood and it's just black on the inside of the face. You don't see anything. Right? It's just soulless, faceless. There is a shadow there. It has physical form, but we can't see it. When I describe it like that, it's pretty scary, right? So yeah, horror design goes a long way as well. Alright, let's quickly look back at the clips and the images from the clips that we saw, right? So, the derelict ship, the ship that crash landed. What about this image evokes fear? Yes. Yeah, no. Good. Yeah, no. Cloudy. All right. What would that be a part of? Kind of thinking a bit. All right. Well, it's not tone. The tone is it's dark, it's grungy. That's not the tone. Atmosphere. Yes, thank you. Yes, precisely. This is a part of atmosphere, right? It's almost like set dressing, right? Just, you can barely see the ship. It's kind of almost covered in darkness. You see like half of it, if not like a third of it, and it's all just swept over in fog, making the image that much harder to see, right? So yes, absolutely, atmosphere. I also mentioned one earlier, coloring, yes. It's kind of like the midnight blues and blacks that kind of make up the scene. We struggle to see it. Now, we touched on it earlier. I kind of glossed over it, but it definitely comes back around, and it really needs to hit home when we're talking about this type of stuff. Fear of the unknown. Exactly, yes, fear of the unknown. So, we don't know what this is. All we know is that it sent out a distress signal, it crash landed, and now it's here. And we don't know anything about it. So, along with the music, along with the visuals, kind of sets us at a very cautious level, like, what is that thing? Oh God, we are going inside of it, right? Can anyone tell me about the film techniques? What else is utilized to really kind of show off that this imagery is scary? Something about the angle. Yes, beautiful, awesome, yes, exactly. Low angles, right? I grew up loving monster movies. The way they really kind of made the monsters look scary was with the camera panned facing upwards. That's really important because it really hits home that this is imposing, it is frightening. You are looking at it from below and it's just like, it's almost like a gaze upon you, right? Like it's just looking at you and you do not know how to feel. It's like, oh God, this is larger than life. This is bigger than anything that we know. Which is why grounded elements are really important in horror, right? It's really important to have people because it's almost like a surrogate, right? You are experiencing the events that they're experiencing for the first time. So you can empathize, you can sympathize with them, you connect with them. So yeah, this type of imagery alone is what evokes horror.